Wikidoc is a series of documentaries whose scripts are made using Wikipedia summaries using AI. Some of these topics are very serious. Viewer discretion is advised.
The two gunmen who went on the rampage booby-trapped the building and even themselves.
April 20th, 1999. A normal morning in Colorado, normal routines, normal habits, until two teenagers would do the unthinkable and make this day a horrible tragedy. Harris and Klebold, who planned for at least a year and hoped to have a large number of victims, intended for the attack to primarily be a bombing and only secondarily a shooting. But when several homemade bombs they planted in the school failed to detonate, the pair launched a shooting attack. Their motive remains inconclusive. According to the shooters' respective journals and videotapes, it is believed by investigators that the pair intended to detonate their propane bombs in the cafeteria at the busiest lunch hour, killing hundreds of students. After this, they would shoot and stab survivors, as well as lob bombs. Bombs set in their cars in the parking lot would also eventually detonate, killing more students as well as possibly any police officers, paramedics, firemen, or reporters who had come to the school. However, the bombs in the cafeteria and cars failed to detonate. At 11:19 a.m., the shooting begins, and the start of the most violent mass killing of its time has come. At 11:19 a.m., 17-year-old Rachel Scott and her friend Richard Castaldo were having lunch and sitting on the grass next to the west entrance of the school. Klebold threw a pipe bomb towards the parking lot. The bomb only partially detonated, causing it to give off smoke. Castaldo thought it was no more than a crude senior prank. Likewise, several students during the incident first thought that they were watching a prank. At 11:22 a.m., a custodian called Deputy Neil Gardner, the assigned resource officer to Columbine, on the school radio, requesting assistance in the senior parking lot. The only paved route took him around the school to the east and south on Pierce Street, where at 11:23 a.m., he heard on his police radio that a female was down and assumed she had been struck by a car. While exiting his patrol car in the senior lot at 11:24, he heard another call on the school radio. "Neil, there's a shooter in the school." The library massacre, Harris and Klebold took the lives of multiple victims, cementing the death of multiple students who went to school that day, assuming they would make it back home. Due to the graphic descriptions of violence committed during the assault on the library, we will not be describing what happened. However, we will skip to the end of the massacre, where Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold took their own lives. At 12:05, all gunfire from the school had ceased. By 12:08 p.m., both gunmen had killed themselves. Harris sat down with his back to a bookshelf and fired his shotgun through the roof of his mouth. Klebold went down on his knees and shot himself in the left temple with his TIC-9. We will never forget the innocent victims of this tragedy and will always remember their names. To anyone who lost someone they loved, we pray you will be reunited one day. Thank you for watching the first episode of Wikidoc. I hope you all have a good day. Until next time. Goodbye.